Today's show is sponsored by Sean Bean's Invasion Team, Lancashire's This is the technical difficulties we're playing Citation Needed. I have an almost randomly selected article from everybody's favourite reliable source of knowledge, Wikipedia, and these folks can't see it. Every fact they get right is a point and a ding, and a special prize for particularly good answers, which is... Mystery Biscuits! Oh, yeah!
Oh, my.
And today's article is the Newgate novel.
Ooh, we've gone highbrow all of a sudden.
Yes.
I'll put on my best smoking jacket and clever cravat.
Clever cravat. Is that like an eye cravat? Cravat? Cravat, quickly, it's the pub quiz.
Right, Newgate. Is this something to do with the prison by any chance?
To an extent, yes.
In that it's to do with the prison or not?
Not quite.
Straight answers, please, knobhead.
It's based on something called the Newgate calendar, which is, it's connected to prisons, it's connected
Is
to
it an
criminals.
execution calendar?
Yes, it was originally a monthly bulletin of executions.
Yeah,
I'll
so
give you a
it's
point for that.
What would be known as the calendar of prisoners, of those who are due to be tried or indeed executed later
But
in the year.
it got turned into something else.
A 16-part TV series starring Daniel Craig, Sean Bean, and Alex Kingston.
This is mid-18th century here. So
Yeah, and...
a little bit earlier.
So Sean Bean could have still
Sean
been in
Bean.
it.
It's a weekly series of plays.
So it wasn't a short-lived opponent to Babe Station then?
Oh!
No, not
Mid-18th
even
century
close.
strumpets asking for letters.
That's basically just a classified ad in the back of the London Gazette with a slightly lewd picture and a mailbox to send your money to.
A coffee house to pop round and talk through a screen to someone. Please make way to the coffee house and ask for the back room. Charge 3 guineas.
Yeah, when you get there, it's a complete glass thing, so you can't. This is a little flap you can open for £1 a minute to talk to.
Oh,
Oh, for crying out loud!
Flat for £1 a minute. Jesus, where do you go?
So, what did the Newgate calendar turn into? It was originally just a diary and bulletin of executions.
London's top tourist attraction.
It isn't the London Dungeon, no, but it's kind of had that entertainment.
Was it serialised like an early Dickens sort of a deal?
I will give you a point for that. The calendar was basically ripped off by a load of other publishers, who then put out biographical chapbooks, it's called here, about the notorious criminals.
Oh, yeah, chapbooks.
Yeah.
These are getting desirably highbrow, but yeah, chapbooks were small, cheap sources of literature. Of course, it is now desirable to say there was also the thing of not only the chapbook, but the Facebook at the time as well, which was a thing.
Well, there's still, like, the name for Facebook came from university Facebooks, which was literally a book of all the faces of the people who had joined the university.
But the 18th century Facebook was you would have one in your house, someone would go around, and as part of the evening's entertainment would try and draw their own face.
Really?
Oh, cool.
Right? And it would provoke much mirth when you went, oh, look at the paucity, look at the eyebrows, Jeremiah, that kind of thing. Of which later on, when everyone else came around, oh, you should see the page before you and what the parson drew, that kind of thing. That was a Facebook. It was a mid-18th century thing.
I'm getting one of those. I'm having one in my house. That sounds great.
Hey, before you go, draw your face.
Go on.
No mirrors!
Stop cheating. All you get is this marker pen or a knife to draw in your own blood.
I like the idea of there being some sort of Bartholomew Zuckerberg who was...
Buy ye the new Facebook. No, that's Middle English. That's going way back.
No, you don't buy it. He just takes yours, adds a load of adverts to it, and sells it back.
Oh!
Satire.
He one has heard he can make up to 3 guineas an hour.
Which he spends £1 a minute
About a minute. With
talking into a flap.
furious strumpets behind the flap.
Prog band. Hello, we're the Furious Strumpets. Yeah! this number is called Behind the Flap.
Oh no, I like that being like some kind of prog band, all-female prog band.
Oh, okay.
Furious
Strumpets.
Strumpets.
Furious
Good name for that.
strumpets. Who's on keyboards?
So the Newgate calendar became the Newgate novel,
Yeah.
which was sort of longer books, very much satirised by a famous author.
Rory Bremner.
Little bit earlier.
Dickens.
No, Dickens. There's a good argument that one of Dickens' novels is a Newgate novel.
Jonathan Swift.
No.
Chaucer.
I think he may have been earlier.
Centuries out. No, there is one Dickens novel that is glorifying crime.
Oliver Twist.
Bingo. Point.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, very good.
Name a Dickens novel about crime, Gary. I was in a Dickens musical once.
Oh, really?
Were you?
Yes.
What, the Dickens?
I know.
Who did you play?
I played Whackford Squeers
Oh, yeah.
in the musical Smike. That is a musical version of Nicholas Nickleby. Hold on to your hats.
Musical version of Nicholas Nickleby.
Yes.
And what pitch range did you take?
Oh, God, whatever I had when I was 15 or something, somewhere between Mickey Mouse and Paul Robes.
Yeah.
Where everyone else
That
is.
weird, oscillatory one. Hard.
So, yeah, Dickens satirised the Newgate calendar then.
No, Dickens essentially wrote a Newgate novel, or something that is considered to be.
Right.
If I say William Makepeace Thackeray, I'm
okay.
looking over at him. Do you know what he
Not
wrote?
read any. Well, Thackeray. Not off the top of my head, no.
Vanity Fair,
Oh,
which was satirising all of 19th century Britain.
okay.
No one takes that.
Oh, he wanted to satirise 19th century Britain. I'd say Gladstone has been too near the buffet recently. I would say he's looking remarkably corpulent around his middle areas. Oh. Actually,
No, that's observational comedy.
Gladstone. Well, he did have his peccadillos, didn't he? He had his thing. He would go out into London when I think it's Gladstone, hire a prostitute, which was the done thing. Take her home and then talk to her for the duration of the booked period, lecture her about not being a prostitute, then throw her out and whip himself on the back. That was his thing.
At the beginning of that paragraph, I thought you were talking about Piccadilly. And I was hoping for a story about toast or sandwiches.
Who puts Piccadilly on toast?
I was going to say, there's something wrong with you if you put Piccadilly on toast.
Hang on, we've gone from
never
Gladstone...
never mind the mishearing, never mind how quickly we've moved through this. The hell are you doing putting Piccadilly
Piccadilly on toast? You might as well put mustard in your eyes. It's a horrible thing to do.
I've had mustard on toast before.
What is wrong with... What,
Nothing wrong with mustard on
It's
toast.
like having sweet chilli on toast.
Just
or
mustard?
butter as well.
And probably black
fine.
pepper if it
Oh,
was
well,
me.
we got the butter, that's fine. Which mustard? English, French, what?
English.
I like how you're doing this kind of tennis thing here.
We must know.
Baron's terrified. He's encountered things he doesn't understand.
You've opened Ronan's eyes to a whole new area of
Have
condiment.
you never had condiments on toast before?
No.
I've had cheese and brown sauce.
No, that's cheese.
Yeah. We're talking tomato sauce sandwich here.
What?
Tartar sauce sandwich.
Oh, Jesus. Horseradish?
Oh, horseradish on toast.
Forget the toast. Out of the jar
Right,
with a
yeah.
spoon.
Behind the unseeing eye ahead of me, if it's not just these two, if you actually put a condiment and only a condiment on toast, email in, write in, send a telegram or a pigeon or your butler or something.
No, to be fair,
Comment.
I've had sandwich pickle on toast before.
That's not...
Piccadilly.
Oh no, hold on, Gary. That's
It's
a good
like
point.
having gherkins on toast with mayo. It's
Whoa,
no different.
Whoa, you can't say it. Whoa.
whoa.
You can't say it.
That
It's
sounds
just-
pretty good. I've never had that.
If I can drag this back.
That's like having...
Good luck, mate.
I mean, for sake, that's like having yop on a baguette. I mean, you're just putting substances together.
The Newgate novel, if I can sort of bring this back.
yeah,
What's that got to do with tartar sauce?
One of the convicts was done for tartar sauce rustling. Rolling a barrel of tartar sauce.
Surely
down the street.
tartar sauce clinking with being in jars.
No, it's just a barrel of it.
That's-
Nothing. What's in that barrel, sir? Water.
Let me stick my bit of bread in there, sir.
I have a slice of toast here. It just so happens that if this is water, it will be utterly spoiled. However, if it is tartar sauce, as we know, that is a great delicacy. My lad, delicious though this is, I am taking you in for tartar sauce rustling.
Of course, in France, they took up with the idea and replaced truncheons with baguettes.
First day, it's for eating. Second day, it's for beating convicts to death.
For eating and beating.
Sorry, you said a baguette lasts a day. In the afternoon, it's for meetings. We have invented a bread product that lasts no more than an hour.
I have taken this bread home. She's wasted.
So, are we pissing off a different nationality each show
Looking
here?
that way. Looking
The only way
that
to get a fresh baguette is to actually have some kind of bread baguette slot on a boulangerie that you wrap your mouth round and have one. Where am I going with
I
this?
don't know. Where are you going with that, Rams?
You want one just
And a
fed.
hot baguette thrust into your throat.
It's £1 a minute. You open the flap, you take whatever's on the other side.
A centime, 10 minutes.
They just
It's
extrude out
baguette.
a bread.
That'll do.
Yeah, fine. I'm okay with that. You've not got any tartar sauce, have you?
If I were to say Jack Shepherd, would that ring a bell with anyone?
I would rather not, thank you.
How do you rate?
Jack was a verb, right?
Jack Shepherd was a notorious thief who had a 2-year criminal career before being hanged at Tyburn. But the novel, the dramatisation of that, was the most notorious Newgate novel. William Thackeray, who was one of the opponents of the Newgate novel, said that there were vendors selling Jack Shepherd bags. Now, what do you think they contained?
Little bits of him.
No.
Swag.
No.
Copies of the novel, some novelty golf balls, a mouse mat, something like
No,
that.
because by this point, the novel, mouse mat.
Yeah, what do you think you put a trap on in the 18th century?
The novel had been turned into a play by this point. So in the lobby of the theatre, as they left,
Signed copies of the script.
Nope.
Signed lithographs of the stars.
Is this something truly disgusting owing to the fact he was hung death by hanging?
His
No.
urine.
No?
So it's not
So
a
that's
picture of
what-
the deceased like this
Carving.
on the.
No. Nope.
Instructions on how to thieve.
Yes.
No way!
Filled with burglary tools.
Hey, that's when, you know when you're walking on the moors, you have the thumbsticks.
Yes.
You know they were entirely outlawed for quite a long time.
No.
That's genuinely illegal with thumbsticks because what
So what are thumbsticks?
they're a
They've
walking
got a
stick with a
U-shaped
wide
top
tip,
on, so you can give it this number.
often seen by ruddy men of the country.
Yes.
Striding around with them.
Spot the person who doesn't go hiking on the moors.
Spot them. Yeah. Anyway, they were outlawed because the thumb over the middle was often used to disguise a hole into which you would screw in a hook with some string and another hook on the end. They'd be used when robbing houses. You would dangle it in, hook something out, and walk off. And of course, walking with the thumb over the hole. So they were banned as a
Brilliant.
criminal instrument.
I'm going to get my dad to turn me one out like that.
Come on, son. I'll go in hang thieving.
The Newgate novels started to fall out of fashion. There were Ainsworth and Lytton were two of the novelists who turned away when the attacks on it started. Who didn't? Who continued to use criminals?
Dickens.
Dickens.
Ah,
Right,
we go.
okay.
Dickens, it says here, was made of sterner stuff.
Made of more commercially lucrative stuff. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Didn't balk at giving the public what they wanted.
Yes, so it became sensation novels. as they were
Charles, there's my 500 words. Where's my £50? Dickens.
called. Yes, pretty much.
That's why his style is as
Bloody
it is.
long.
Yeah, that's why he's so long-winded.
Is.
I should hate to pontificate over this for too long, as excess verbosity will lead to. Yeah.
I mean, I've probably said before, my favourite Dickens line is the one about the door knocker in A Christmas Carol, which, having not undergone any intermediate process of change,
Wow.
he's just like, oh,
Word count!
Yep.
and that'll do. Submit.
Yes, because he just clicked a button and the word counted.
No, he went. That action is ringing a bell for his butler to come up the stairs, or a boy to come and take it to
with
the
a
toast and
celebratory slice of toast and tartar.
The Newgate novels became the kind of sensation novels of detective fiction. They got serialised. What did they become?
Frosties.
Serialised. Oh, yes.
The pun, it burns. I was going to go for the bill.
That's fair. That's fair. A little bit earlier than that.
Ye bill.
Particular name for them.
The Penny Dreadfuls.
Yes, point straight away. And quick fire round. Can anyone give me the other names for the Penny Dreadfuls? What else were they called?
I'm looking.
Filthy news books,
The shilling
dirty foldabouts, thou shalt nots, don't look in there, mothers,
They were all kind of penny something.
penny what's it, have you got one, naughty novels, penny frighteners, something like that.
Some kind of synonym for dreadful would be a start.
Awfuls.
Oh, point.
Yay! Look at that.
penny dreadful and a penny awful.
Penny horrible, penny number, and penny blood. At the end of that, congratulations, Chris. You win this show.
Hey!
Oh,
More
on a
points
roll.
went your way than anything else there. You win some shares in the company that is owned by the star of The Big Lebowski that enables passengers to board airliners safely. It's Jeff Bridges, Jet Bridges.
The dude abides.
The dude aboards. Thank you.
And the marketing has written itself.
Until next time, that's been Matt Gray.
Au revoir.
That's been Gary Brannan.
Good day.
That's been Chris Joel. And I've been Tom Scott. We'll see you next time. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like the show, then tell someone, tell us, or send us a telegram. And there are all new episodes of our Reverse Trivia podcast over at techdiff.co.uk.